Welcome to Chamber Chat with Mary Beth Horton. Chamber Chat is a weekly program focused on keeping you connected to your community, the place we call home, where we work, play, and raise our families, featuring updates on economic development, the latest news on businesses moving into our area, networking opportunities, and upcoming community events for you and your family. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you enjoy today's program. Now here's your host, Habersham County Chamber President, Mary Beth Horton, and her special guest.
Welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Mary Beth Horton, President of the Habersham County Chamber of Commerce and the host for today's show. Chamber Chat is on the road again this month to give you an insider's view of what really goes on behind the scenes in the great businesses in our county. By the golden arches behind me, I think everyone can recognize where we're starting our journey today. Clarksville and Cornelia McDonald's are the December Chamber members of the month, and we felt it was a perfect time to show you the new interior design, as well as discuss the history of McDonald's in Habersham and its evolution over the years. Let's go inside. Okay, we are here inside of the newly remodeled McDonald's in Clarksville. We're joined with John Barrow. John is a franchisee for both the Clarksville and Cornelia McDonald's, among some other locations which you'll tell us about. So thank you so much for being here with us today, and congratulations on being the Chamber's Member of the Month for the month of December.
Thank you very much. It's quite an honor. We're excited that y'all are joining us today.
So I'm really impressed with the remodel, and I know we're going to talk about it in a minute. But John, tell us a little bit about the history of and how you and your family sort of got involved.
Well, it was the early 80s, and my dad had been in the school book publishing industry. It was a totally different career, but he had done fairly well, and he knew that as he was getting older, he was approaching 50, he wanted to go into business for himself, and so he looked into several different businesses from a McDonald's or maybe a car dealership or a bookstore or a hotel. But he decided that McDonald's would be the best option for us as a family, and so we had moved around a lot pre-McDonald's, and McDonald's said, we've got a new restaurant that'll be available in a small town in Georgia, in Cornelia, Georgia. He said, we'll take it. So he picked up the family, and we moved to Cornelia in March of 1983. And since then, we've added more and more stores, and right now we've got 7 stores in this corner of the state. And I'll go ahead and list them: Cornelia and Clarksville here in Habersham County, Clayton, Rabun County, Cleveland, and White County, and then we've got a few others a little bit down south.
So the first one was Cornelia, and then Clarksville came about what time?
Clarksville opened in November of 2005, so we just passed our 13th anniversary right around Thanksgiving.
7 locations total. About how many employees?
Oh, goodness. In the summertime or even in the fall. Summer and fall are our busiest times of the year because a fair amount of our business is tourist-driven, being here in the mountains. And during these times of year, we might have up to 450 employees total. And we might drop down to 400 or so January, February, but we hover north of 400 most of the time.
Wow. Well, let's talk about being an employee here. Suppose someone wants to start working here, but they want to stick with it and they want to develop a career out of it. What does that look like for an employee?
Sure, and that's a great question. And one thing that I kind of take personal pride in, because I remember being in high school, and the teachers would say, well, if you don't work hard, if you don't study hard, you'll just wind up working at McDonald's the rest of your life. Well, that's not really a bad thing.
Right.
Now, I understand what they were saying. You'll just wind up working the cash register. But we've got a whole spectrum of employment options, everything from entry level, where you can come in today and I can teach you how to work the French fry station in under half an hour and you'll be good at it, to working the cash register or drive-through. And if that's what you're looking for, we need you. But if you're looking for more of a career path, we've got management and even executive operational type of people, supervisory positions that have been with us for 20 and 30 years plus. They've made it a career and they do very well for themselves financially. They do well for themselves with regard to work-life balance. A lot of restaurants require people to put in 60, 70, 80 hours a week. We are not interested in that. We want people to have a good regular life. So we'll meet one of the guys here that's been with us since 1990, I believe. And we've got probably 6 to 10 people that have been with us really long term and are helping run the businesses here.
So one of the things that's very fascinating to me about McDonald's that a lot of people might not know is that you guys have an Archways to Opportunity, or an Archways program that allows people to get an education, high school diploma and things like that if they're an employee or relatives of an employee. How does that work?
Great question. That's something that McDonald's as a system is proud of, and we're proud of to offer to our employees. But it's a tuition assistance program, and if you've been with us a minimum of 90 days, you go online and you fill out and say, this is where I'm going to school, this is the tuition, this is what I need, and then you're automatically approved for tuition assistance. And it varies from school and need and time of employment, but it's one of the many benefits that we offer to our employees.
I think that's an excellent benefit, and I think that's something that people really don't know about when you're thinking about a career, working someplace like this, that you can have that sort of opportunity out there.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
You're welcome. So, okay, let's talk about, we all remember McDonald's as kids, and the red and white booths and the yellow and all that
And
kind
the
of stuff.
plastic booths
The plastic
and
booths
Ronald
and Grimace
Yeah.
and the Hamburglar and all that. So McDonald's has obviously evolved over the years. So let's talk a little bit about what's happened and how it's changed to adapt to its customers.
Oh goodness, that's where do you start? When we got into the business in March of 1983, we were the old-timey McDonald's with the mansard roof,
Yeah.
and we had the Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar and Grimace and all that, and some of the biggest developments. And I'll go back to even before we opened the store, but back when McDonald's started, it was just walk up to the service window. They didn't even have a lobby. They didn't have a drive-through. So the biggest development, I believe, has been the addition of the drive-through, where now at least 2/3 of our customers come through the drive-through.
Yeah.
66 to 70% are drive-through. In the 70s, McDonald's started offering breakfast, which is a huge day part for us. It's a huge menu offering for us, and we even do breakfast all day now. Probably.
I like that.
Yeah, a lot of customers do.
Yeah.
10 years ago, we went with the McCafe and the upgraded coffees.
Yes.
So you can get our regular coffee, which, by the way, is routinely voted as the best coffee out there, better than Dunkin' Donuts, better than Starbucks, better than the rest of the competition. So McDonald's is known for having great coffee.
I will agree with that. I'm a McDonald's coffee customer
We appreciate it.
almost every day.
Thank you. But the McCafe, which we might look at in a minute, where we've got espressos and cappuccinos and mochas and frappes, that's been a big development as well. And then most recently, and you mentioned that we had just remodeled this store, we just got done maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So we did this one and the Cornelia store. We just finished our Commerce store down at Banks Crossing, and we had done a major remodel at our Clayton store earlier this year. But you can see we've got a new interior. Gone are the days of plastic booths, and it's more of a coffee house kind of feel. But on top of that, we have these new self-service kiosks, which we still have counter service. If you're not comfortable placing your order on a giant iPad, then you go up and place your order with the register person. But if you want to go try it out, you go enter your order yourself, pay for it right there, and then you go sit down and we'll bring it to you. So that's a big development for
Which
us.
is a great thing for people with families and small children who come in, and just coming into a restaurant with lots of kids, as you know, is chaotic in and of itself. But to be able to have a kiosk where you can order and then sit down and someone will bring you, and I definitely want to check that out when we're walking through the store here in a minute. But so what would you say, you've been a business owner here in Habersham County. What do you love most about it? What do you love most about being here and having these stores here?
Oh, well, first of all, we make our home in Habersham County. I've lived in Cornelia since 1983, since I was a little kid, and I've grown up working at McDonald's, but also grown up here in Habersham County. And I would say me, my family, my parents, my wife and kids, we are committed to the success of Habersham County. So what do I love about it? I love that we have a small town feel. I love the geography of it. I love the seasons that we have, the beautiful fall weather like we've got right now. I love the hospitality of the people. I like that Atlanta is far enough away that you can go there if you need to, but it's far enough away where we're kind of protected from the big city. But we are committed to our town. We've had so many people come through here working. And some people may come in and they're just looking for work as a high school student to make extra money. And a lot of those people are now doctors or lawyers or business owners themselves. And we see them regularly and they say, I learned so much working at McDonald's that it's made me a better doctor or lawyer or business owner.
Well, I'm under the impression that everybody at some point in their life should work in the restaurant industry. Everybody should do it. I mean, I've done it, you've done it. I feel like that's sort of that's almost like a prerequisite to anything that you do in your career, is at least have that customer service experience and behind the counter experience, and I think that's so important. So so we can walk around and take a look now, right? You're going to let us kind of go behind the scenes and see what really happens.
Come on.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Okay, here we are at the new self-order kiosk, and John's going to sort of explain to us how this works. We're going to try it out.
That's right. All right, well, I've got the second. I want to introduce Patrick Lama. We had talked a minute ago about how McDonald's has many different employment options, and if you just want to come in, and if you're a high school student and you need some extra money and some extra hours, we can do that. But we've got 6 to 10 people who have made this their career, and Patrick Lama is one of them. Patrick started with us as a student at Piedmont, and he was just working part-time, but he saw that the restaurant industry, people have to eat, and so this could be a valid career. And now Patrick is in charge of all of our restaurants. He's the director of operations. So Patrick, tell us a little bit about how the kiosk works right here. Like, how do we initiate this? Do we just touch the screen?
Basically, we just touch the screen, just like any smartphone or a tablet. So you want to use eating or takeout, and you're gonna go to a main menu. So you have a lot of choices. You go to breakfast item. Right now, we're currently on the breakfast menu item.
I'm ordering what my
Sure, egg white delight. So you want a meal or you want just a sandwich? There you go. And you can customize it if you'd like. You want a coffee? Okay, small, large, medium. Yep. And you want to add any ingredients? Oh, you're good. You're good at this.
She's a natural.
I don't have to. Sure. Yeah. So just like Amazon, if you finish, you can just say add to order. Yep. And done. Yeah, in the bottom. So if you have like any edit at this time, if you're not, then you can just go to proceed to checkout. There you go. And if you want to pay here at counter, let's just do, just for the sake of the example, just do pay at the counter, please. Yep. And it's gonna give you and you want to get a number 29. You want to enter that in there. So that's gonna be your number. Exactly. Exactly. So you're gonna get a little ticket on the bottom. Receipt.
Down there.
Yeah. And you will take that to the front counter, and they'll take care of the rest. And you actually go sit down, you pay in the front counter, and then you sit down, and they'll bring the food.
I love this.
So we've got two options. One, if
Yes.
you've got the credit card, you just swipe it right there, and then Mary Beth or the family or whoever could go sit down. If you're paying with cash, they don't have a way to do cash. We're not putting a cash register out here. So you go over there to the cash register, and the cashier will help you process the order.
Exactly.
This is great.
We're excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now we're going to, where are we going to go next, John?
Well, when you and I were talking before, you said with your side-by-side drive-through, how do you keep the order
Yes.
straight? So are you ready to come work the drive-through?
This is a mystery of McDonald's I have always been wanting to solve.
Yeah,
So-
the mystery's about to be solved.
Because people, when you're coming through the drive-through in the morning and the cars merge, they never mess up, or
We try not to mess up.
they never mess mine up. So I've never been able to figure out how you guys get it right. So you're going to show me?
We're going to peek behind the curtain.
It's like a bucket list.
Come on back.
We are back in the drive-through window, the brains of McDonald's, as I like to think of it. John's going to sort of explain or uncover the mystery of the drive-through and how they process the order. So this is actually very fascinating to me. So John, talk us through it.
Sure, I'll be glad to. Well, first of all, like I mentioned, at least 2/3 of our business is drive-through. And one of the big things, you asked earlier, how has McDonald's changed over the years? One of the biggest developments has been what we call the side-by-side drive-through. And that's the 2 lanes, because back before the side-by-side, the entire drive-through could be held up by one customer who would sit there at the speaker for 2, 3, 4 minutes trying to figure out if they wanted a Big Mac or a cheeseburger, and everybody else just gets lined up behind them. So we said, what can we do to fix that? And we added the second lane. So now we've had this side-by-side. But the question is, how do we keep track of the orders? Well, we've got a fancy new system, and we've got cameras out there. So when you pull up, place your order at the speaker, the camera looks right at you, and it takes a little shot. So if you're driving a white pickup truck and you order the Egg McMuffin meal, when the cashier takes the order, the picture comes up, and she's able to push the button of white pickup truck, and she'll say, "Hey, how are you doing today? Did you have the Egg McMuffin meal?" Customer says yes or no. You know, there might be 2 white pickup trucks or something. So she gets to touch the other button, and then we're able to make sure that the order goes to the right customer. So our target is under 3 minutes from start to finish. A lot of times we do better, sometimes we don't make it, but we're always trying to do our best.
Well, that's great, and thanks to all this technology, you guys are able to really streamline through that. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much. We try.
So what else? What else do you want to add? What else do we need to know? The magic behind McDonald's.
It's a great question. We ourselves, as the Barrow family, we view ourselves as small business people in Habersham County. Even though we partner with McDonald's, we've made our home here, and it really is a small business for us. And so we've got people who work with us who are like family. We support so much in the community. We do our best to make this a better place to work and to live and to play. We support the school system with athletics and academics and the band, even from elementary school with reading and attendance, churches and charities, Vacation Bible Schools, Special Olympics, you name it. We try to be involved the best we can because we know that the more that we contribute to the community, the better our community is going to be. So we're really committed to what we do here in Habersham County.
And we appreciate you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. Wait, I have 2.
Great.
Can you name all 4 shapes of the McNugget?
Oh gosh, no. Like one's kind of round and one looks like a boot.
There's a boot, a
ball,
a bell,
a bell.
and a bone.
Fair enough. I will chalk that down.
The
I learned
4
something today.
I was asking my kids earlier. I said, "Do you guys know the 4 shapes of a McNugget?" And they said, "It's a nugget shape." And I said, "Oh no, there are 4 shapes of the McNugget." Okay, what
That's
is
great.
your favorite McDonald's menu item?
All right, so it's a little unfair to ask me because at lunchtime I'll come back and make my own, but I'll either make a quarter pounder or a double cheeseburger, put lettuce, some mayonnaise, get extra mustard on it. That's the best. If I'm a regular customer, double cheeseburger all day long.
Yeah, that's awesome. John, thank you so much for especially letting us come back here and see sort of the operations side of it.
Yeah, it's our pleasure.
Appreciate all that you guys do for this community and just so glad that y'all are here.
Thank you so much.
All
Been a
right,
pleasure.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are once again at another iconic landmark, but this one more known on the local level. The Habersham Community Theater was built in 1937 as a movie theater. Recognized for its unique facade and marquee, HCT has long been a part of the Clarksville cityscape. Now, more than 80 years later, HCT has grown and evolved into a true showplace for the arts. Exciting things are ahead for Habersham Community Theater, and we think that you need to know more about it, so let's take a look inside. Okay, we're here inside of the Habersham Community Theater. I'm joined with Bob Warren. Bob is one of the board members for the theater. You're VP of Marketing. You're an actor here. You're a longtime volunteer. You're sort of the jack of all trades of the Habersham Theater. So thank you for letting us come inside today and talking to us about what all is happening. Now, I know that the Habersham Theater has recently been in the news for a very exciting announcement.
Yep.
So can you tell us what that is?
Yep, so we're real excited. We just received a preservation grant from the Fox Theater, and that's really important to us. We've been dealing with some issues over the last 6 months. This building is like 80 years old,
Yeah.
so obviously it takes some work to keep it, keep the integrity of the building, so we can continue to provide live shows here in the community. So anyway, the Fox Theater has given us a grant to help us with that project, and it's going to allow us to do this next spring. So we're really, really excited about that. And again, the bottom line is it's just going to allow us to keep this building as beautiful as it is, and most importantly, continue to provide live theater here in the community.
And I know that the HCT was one of only 13 theaters across the state that received this grant. And I know that a ton of work went into the application of it. And so how crucial is this grant towards the future of the theater? I mean, obviously the structure of it. I mean, you guys needed this, and it's such an honor that you received it. And what are the plans to use the grant monies toward?
So first of all, it was imperative that we make some improvements to the structure of the building. We consulted with some engineers earlier this year, and there's some things that just are going to have to be done for the long-term preservation of the building. So it was imperative that it was going to have to be done. But financially, it would have been really, really difficult for us to do that without the grants.
But y'all have undergone some renovations on the interior. Tell us a little bit about what's happened here.
Yep, not this summer, but the summer before, we did several things that have really helped enhance the experience for our patrons as they come to shows. One is brand new seats. So we were able to do that. We also have a brand new lighting system and a brand new sound system. So all that collectively just makes for a better experience for all our patrons as they come to our shows.
And I will tell you, I have been a patron of many shows here, and the quality of the equipment and the quality of shows and what you guys put on and the venue of it in and of itself. There's only 100 seats here, so it's a very intimate space, and I appreciate that so much because it's just it's something about the ambiance in this theater is really amazing. There are top-notch productions done here. This is not just your elementary school stage. There are some major productions that you guys do, some major set work. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the shows that you guys do, maybe what's coming up, what's happening next?
Coming in February, we have Oliver, which everybody's
I'm excited for Oliver.
Yep. So everybody's really excited about that. And actually, my son's playing Oliver, so
that's awesome.
So I'm kind of excited about that.
So you'll be in the front row.
Yeah. I'll be the stage manager,
Okay,
actually.
yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. And then we've got several shows in the spring. We got another musical. We have a murder mystery. And then next summer, we have Oklahoma.
I love it.
So that's going to be another favorite this year.
So because your shows have become so popular, they're selling out. And how are you guys meeting this demand? And let me just say this. People, not just from Habersham County, come to watch these productions. There are people that come from all over the Southeast that travel into Clarksville because of what you guys have going on in the slate of shows you have. And for that reason, the tickets are selling out. So what are you guys doing to sort of accommodate that demand?
Yes, good problem to have, but last year we sold out nearly every performance for the entire season. So, and that was the first time that we had actually accomplished that. We almost had every performance sold out, just minus a couple. But one of the things that came out of that was we had a huge increase in season tickets this year, and I think a lot of people who didn't get to see a show last year because it sold out, they decided we're going to get season tickets this year. So we had about a 20% increase in season tickets. The other thing, though, we've done for this year is we've added quite a few Saturday matinees just to provide another show for people to come see. So it just adds to the lineup.
That's great. So live theater is not all that's done here. You guys have a lot of other special events. Can you sort of tell us some of the things that you've done maybe in the past or some things that folks can look forward to in 2019 that, are not the live theater productions?
Sure. And some of you have probably come to a movie here. So we've done Movies on Main. We just had one actually, 2 nights ago, I guess. And also we do special events throughout the year, and typically our special events are music groups that will come in. So, and all of it again, it's about just exposing people to the theater. Some people may not come for a live show, but they come first to a special event. They experience the theater, then hopefully they come back for one of our live shows. But we try to keep this. We try to utilize our facility as much as we can to help the community.
And there's always something going on around here. There's really never a dull moment here in the theater. And I want to just add, I grew up sort of in a community theater background. Did a lot of plays when I was younger, so I certainly appreciate the arts very, very much. And I know that there's so much more to this besides just being an actor on stage. So if folks out here are watching, or if, want to educate people on, you can still be involved in community theater without having to be seen on stage. So what are some other opportunities people can kind of get involved?
That's the great thing about theater, and it's something, I'm new to theater over the last 4 or 5 years. My kids got involved, that's why I got involved. But the one thing I've realized is everybody can be involved with theater, because you don't have to be on stage, you don't have to be an actor, actress, you don't have to know how to sing, because there's so many other things that go in to a live production, and we need more folks. And one of the areas specifically that we really have a need for right now is we need more folks who have the tech gene that can do sound and can do lights. That's an area that we really have a very short list of volunteers that work in that area. So if that's an area that you enjoy, you have a passion for, we'd love to have you involved. But then there's costumes, there's set design, there's working concessions, there's all kinds of different ways people can get involved and be a part of our shows.
And so many times, like, having that experience working behind the scenes is almost a springboard for future careers. I mean, you could work production at your local community theater, go on to college and get a degree in production, and then become, working with the television network, or working, at the Fox Theater. I mean, there's this, being involved on a local level like this and learning the trade sometimes lends itself to big career, opportunities up ahead. So suppose someone wants to get involved, or they just want to find out what the upcoming season is or how they can purchase tickets. I know you guys have a Facebook page.
Yep. And we have a website, habershamtheater.org. And so I would encourage you just to contact us through Facebook, through our webpage, or call the theater as well.
Okay, well, once again, thank you so much for letting us come inside, take a look at what all you have going on. Congratulations on the grant. We're so excited. Guys, Habersham Community Theater is just a true gem, and I'm so excited to be able to showcase you guys this month and all the wonderful things going on. So thank you, Bob, for letting us in.
You bet. And thank you, Mary Beth, and the Chamber for taking the time today to come out and visit us. We appreciate all you guys do as well for the community.
Absolutely.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. All will be together if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas.